Good morning and welcome to the Chamber Business Report. I'm John Phillips, president of the Palm Coast Flagler Regional Chamber of Commerce. And today we have a special guest from the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel. Syra Bhoola is with us today. Syra, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Great to have you with us here on the Chamber Business Report. And also want to remind our listeners that the Chamber Business Report is sponsored by Klein Construction, building the future of Flagler County for the past 30 years. Also by Smart Technologies, they make business simple. Intracoastal Bank of Palm Coast, community banking the way it should be, member FDIC. And also by Katz & Green, Flagler County's personal injury attorneys since 1996. Well, let's turn our attention to the newest hotel in Flagler County, the newest hotel in Flagler Beach, and a wonderful property that opened just in time for the busy summer travel season, the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel. Syra, let's talk a little bit about your wonderful, beautiful new property there at the intersection of State Route 100 and A1A in Flagler Beach. Let's go over some of the facts. How many rooms do you have there? And we'll talk about some of the details about the grand opening and then a little bit about the history of elite hospitality as well.
Yes. So we have 100 rooms and we have 3 floors. So 2 of our floors have our guest rooms. It is a little bit smaller. Compass by Margaritaville is the boutique collection of the Margaritaville hotels. So not as big, more of a Flagler Beach local feel.
And I think that's really important. I'm glad you brought that up about a local feel in Flagler Beach. It is a national brand, Margaritaville, associated with Jimmy Buffett and all the things we all know about Margaritaville. But Elite Hospitality is a family-owned, family-operated travel and tourism business. You have hotels from Daytona Beach all the way to Jacksonville. Is that right?
Yes, we do. My parents actually started our family business right before my sister was born. So my older sister has now joined our company as director of marketing. And then I recently graduated, so I joined myself. And I have my younger brother studying accounting and finance, and he'll join as well. So we're super excited. It is a smaller family business. And like you mentioned, our hotels go from Daytona to Jacksonville, the Jacksonville Margaritaville being the northernmost. So we're super excited to be here in Flagler Beach, and it's not too far away from Ormond Beach, where I was born and raised. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, glad to have you here in Flagler Beach. And the location where the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel was a hotel way back in the day, and then it closed down for a little bit. So you're back on a property that was a very historic hotel here in Flagler Beach.
Yes, we are. We were excited about the fact that it used to be a hotel because we wanted to add something to Flagler Beach where it might have been lacking right now, but you still have that tourism and small town feel that you want to draw people in. So it's very interesting that it used to be a hotel, and it actually opened 100 years from July 4th. So super fun fact.
Yeah, and you guys obviously had your grand opening that we were part of with the Chamber right before Memorial Day weekend. I think it might have been maybe the Wednesday or Tuesday prior to Memorial Day. So you've got a couple of big summer holidays, Memorial Day and then July 4th. And obviously you guys have hit both of them. How is business going at the Margaritaville Hotel?
Business is great. July 4th weekend was one of my most fun weekends working in the hotel. We get a lot of locals that come by walking through the hotel, asking questions, and we've gotten a lot of staycations. So it's been interesting to talk to all of the local people and kind of get a feel of how everyone else feels about the hotel and to show everyone that we're here to have a good time. We're not here to just stamp a corporate sign in a building and call it a business.
Well, it's a beautiful property there. And again, right there at the intersection of State Route 100 and A1A, as you go across the bridge to Flagler Beach, you can't miss it. It's right there, and it'll come up on your right-hand side as you're heading east, directly across from the very iconic Flagler Beach Pier, which is undergoing a major renovation right now. So even more excitement and more good things coming to Flagler Beach in addition to the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things inside the hotel. I know there's a wonderful restaurant and bar on the first floor, and then you also have a rooftop bar. We'll talk about the Salty Rim Bar and Grill first. Give us some of the details there.
So we have Salty Rim Bar and Grill, which is one of the Compass by Margaritaville staple restaurants. It is a large plate lunch and dinner menu, and it's downstairs, so you can just walk into the lobby and you'll see the big restaurant. We also have a lobby bar attached to Salty Rim, so people can come up, just sit by the bar, sit by the tables near the pool, or you can be seated by the hostess and get the whole service experience. We also have happy hour Monday through Thursday, and it's 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. So it's been really fun walking through the hotel during the day, during the week, and seeing our bartenders with their local normal crowd. And I just love talking to everyone who walks through.
And it seems like a lot of the folks that I've met there during my visits are locals in terms of the bartenders and the wait staff. So they are local people that know the local stories, and they welcome some of their friends and colleagues that they've worked with in the past, and it still has that very, very local feel.
Yes, we do. A lot of our hotel staff are from Flagler Beach, and some of them were born and raised here. And then our restaurant staff and our bartenders, they're either from Flagler or they relocated because they love Flagler so much. So it's been interesting getting to know all the staff and all of their people that come along with them.
How many employees total does the Compass by Margaritaville employ?
We have around 75 right now.
Wow.
And of course, we're always looking to employ local people and give back to this Flagler Beach community.
Yeah, what a major impact. And that's 75 jobs that weren't here 6 months ago or 3 months ago or 2 months ago. So more jobs. And then what a major impact. I haven't spoken to Amy Lukasik with the Tourism Society recently, but I know that's got to be a major windfall for the tourism dollars with the bed tax and the TDC money that comes in. For those folks that don't know all the details of how that works with the bed tax, 5%. Here in Flagler County. So if a room were, keep the math simple, if it were $100 a night, there's a $5 tourist development tax that goes toward Flagler Beach tourism. So $5 per room per night if it were $100 a night per room. And that money adds up to help market and promote our community. And obviously the impact that you all are making with 100 rooms. And I don't know what your, average daily rate is or what your, how many rooms are filled on the average night, but it's got to be a huge impact to Flagler County, without a doubt.
For sure.
And just your involvement in the community with your family, you guys even just being part of the chamber. And, I wanted to touch a little bit on the First Friday, pedal back to that, because you had said you are involved in First Friday and you've sat there with your team and had a booth. So can you just touch a little bit on that?
Yeah, so the first Friday that we were open, that was our first Friday actually tabling there. So I took along with me one of my front desk agents and one of our cooks who are from Flagler Beach. And we sat out there, we talked to all the locals, kind of gave information about the hotel, and wanted to just talk to everyone, see where we were at. And it was so much fun. And I told my staff I want different ones going at each First Friday. And they're all super pumped, super excited. So it's definitely something I'm glad to be a part of.
Let's unpack that a little bit more about the local community connection. You stated earlier that that you were raised in Ormond Beach, and I know your family business, Elite Hospitality, has multiple hotels there in the greater Daytona Beach market, by the airport and out by I-95 and other locations. So you've grown up in the industry quite literally, a family-owned business. Your dad, your sister, and maybe your brother come along. He'll probably have a good chance to work in the hotel business. What are some of the things that your dad and your family have ingrained in you to support and give back to the community? Maybe give some examples of things you learned growing up in the hospitality industry.
So growing up around hotels, I couldn't tell you the first time I was kind of just thrown in a hotel and told just watch everyone, see what's going on. I kind of grew up following around my mom. She'd go to all the hotels at least once, twice a month. So we are very involved. I think it was definitely ingrained in us, that family, community, and small town feeling. And so in all of our hotels, we have personal connections with all of our staff. It's not like we have Elite Hospitality as the corporate brand and they kind of just dictate. It's more my parents, even with Compass by Flagler Beach, my parents have come every other day. So we are a small knit community, and we want to keep that feeling in all of our hotels and for the future as well.
Yeah, and that's fantastic, and that's some of the things that I've learned from working with your dad and with your business over the years, primarily with the Daytona Beach properties that you have. But it carries on here in Flagler Beach, also up in St. Augustine. I know you have multiple properties there, and of course the other Margaritaville Hotel up in Jacksonville Beach as well. So how many total properties are there close to 15 or
There's around 12.
12,
and
okay.
then we haven't decided where we're going to expand, but me and my siblings do have plans for us.
Oh, I'd love to hear that. Love to see your success and love to see you here in Flagler Beach. We talked about the Salty Rim Bar and Grill, which is right there in the lobby, and it is open to the public. If you're a local and you don't happen to be staying at the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel, you can come in for lunch or for dinner, and it's right there in the lobby. You can also go kind of around the corner back to the pool bar as well, which is part of the Salty Rim. But then up on the rooftop, which I haven't had a chance to see in person, but spoiler alert, we have a chamber event there. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in the second half of our segment today, coming up on July 23rd. But up on the rooftop, let's talk about the Chill Bar, which doesn't seem very chilly when you're up on the roof, but let's talk about the vibes up there at the Chill Bar.
Yes, Chill Bar is one of my favorite spots in the entire hotel. Anytime that I want to de-stress and relax, I tend to go up there and just enjoy the view and take in Flagler Beach as a whole. Chill Bar has been not as chill because we get a ton of people and it's a lot of fun up there. If you go up there on the weekdays, you'll see Miami, our bartender, and he loves talking to locals. I see all the comments about him. So it's more of a upbeat vibe. The menu up there is more drink extensive, but we do have small plates. So it's not traditional bar food per se, but it's kind of our twist on it, which is really fun. It's something new, a new cuisine that added to the area. So
It is, and the views are just amazing. And like you said, a full atmosphere. Even if you go there during the week, I've been a few times now, and it's full up there.
Yeah.
So definitely have to check it out and just take in the atmosphere. I love the glass wall that you have there, so you can just really look out and see all of Flagler Beach there, which just makes it amazing.
Yeah, anytime you can see the ocean, you're in a good spot. And you can see the ocean.
Yes.
And also the iconic Flagler Pier and the Flagler A-frame there that says Flagler Beach right on there, right off the rooftop bar there. The Chill Bar at the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel is a wonderful place to grab a drink or something to eat. You mentioned about the kind of the local feel to it. How much impact do you get from, does Margaritaville dictate the menu from those customized drinks, or do you have a little bit of local feel where you can kind of modify? They give you suggestions, then you get to put your own spin on it a little bit.
So Margaritaville definitely gives us some suggestions, but they allow us to have the freedom of kind of picking which drinks we want to put on the menu. And then if we ever wanted to add something, it's a very streamlined process where we just let them know. They'll come try it, make sure it's amazing, and then we can add it to our menu. Our bartenders actually recently have been passing around a notebook where they can add their drink ideas and kind of what locals are feeling and what people are wanting. So we're definitely looking at what the community wants instead of just a staple menu.
I think that's a really great opportunity where you've got the branding of Margaritaville and a national brand, but you still have that local feel with some flexibility, whether it's a bartender suggestion or maybe even a guest suggestion of a new drink where you do have some flexibility to make it a local family style facility, again, under the branding of Margaritaville.
Yes. And it's also really interesting because Margaritaville Corporate, they're actually located in Orlando, but some of their members actually live in Palm Coast and Flagler Beach, so they'll just stop by and kind of see how everything's going. So it is a very small, atmospheric, close vibe.
Yeah. What a great combination of local feel plus national branding right here at the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel in Flagler Beach. We're visiting with Syra Bhoola. She is with the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel. She's the assistant general manager over there. And this is the Chamber Business Report. The first half of our segment is wrapping up here. We're going to take a short time out and we'll be back with the second half of the Chamber Business Report right after this. Welcome back to the Chamber Business Report. Again, I'm John Phillips, president of the Palm Coast Flagler Chamber of Commerce. I've got my co-host Kelsey Lombard with us, along with Syra Bhoola from the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel. And again, want to remind our folks that the Chamber Business Report is sponsored by Klein Construction, building the future of Flagler County for the past 30 years. Also, Smart Technologies, they make business simple. Intracoastal Bank of Palm Coast, community banking the way it should be, member FDIC. And Katz and Green, Flagler County's personal injury attorneys since 1996. Our subject today is really about the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel, Flagler Beach's newest hotel and Flagler County's newest hotel, for that matter, right there at the corner of State Route 100 and A1A, the dead center, smack in the middle of the heart of Flagler Beach. Just opened back last week of May. So I guess what are we, Syra? About 7 weeks in?
Yep, almost 2 months.
Yeah, so it's been an exciting time. 100 rooms there at the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel. They've got the Salty Rim Bar and Grill there in the lobby, and the Chill Bar we talked about up on the roof, which has oceanfront views of Flagler Beach, and the wonderful things that go on here in the summertime in Flagler Beach. And Kelsey, I want to give you a chance to talk about our big event. The Chamber has a business after hours, and it'll be not very much business, but a lot of after hours things going on at the Chill Bar coming up here in just a couple of days. It's on July 23rd, which is on Wednesday, and it's from 4 to 6 at the Chill Bar. It is for Chamber of Commerce members or future members. So if you'd like to learn more about the Chamber of Commerce and meet some of our wonderful members and spend some time visiting with us and seeing the great views from the Chill Bar, we'd love to have you on Wednesday, July 23rd from 4 to 6 there at the Chill Bar. We've got two great sponsors.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. Go ahead,
Two great
Kelsey.
members of ours, Mara Grace Counseling, and then we have Haven Nexus with Dr. Williams that will be speaking. And what a great topic on mental health in your business and making sure we're taking care of our mental health as business owners and working in our community.
Yeah, two wonderful sponsors there. Again, Mara Grace Counseling and Haven Nexus will be with us, along with many of our Chamber ambassadors and other Chamber members in a chance to chill, relax, and learn a little bit more about the services that these two wonderful sponsors offer, and also enjoy some of the wonderful food and drink
And views,
and
yes.
the $1 million view, maybe even more than $1 million view there at the Compass by
Which
Margaritaville.
is not just at the Chill Bar, by the way. I know that when you had the grand opening event, we had those cool VIP necklaces that we got to wear, and you guys gave us a tour. And I'd have to say, even in the rooms
Yes.
that have the balconies, you have such an amazing view of Flagler Beach. So I think that if you get a chance to come on by to our business after hours, definitely think about booking a room that day because it's worth the view.
No doubt about it. And there are some wonderful specials going on for locals that can have, like you called it earlier, a staycation. Maybe if you live here in Palm Coast or out in Bunnell, you just head a little bit east and go across that bridge. You're in a whole nother world over there in Flagler Beach. You can get away from the grind and enjoy some weekend time at the Chill Bar at the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel. Syra, you mentioned something that I did not know earlier, that the drinks at the restaurant all have a Jimmy Buffett theme, which doesn't surprise me, but I didn't realize they're all named after Jimmy Buffett songs. Is that
Yes,
correct?
all of the drinks at Salty Rim and Chill Bar are named after Jimmy Buffett songs. So if you look through them, some of them might be lyrics, some of them might be the title, but every single one has to do with one of his songs.
And they're all like really cool colors and they're very special, I think. And I feel like sometimes I look at the name and it just makes me want to sing the song.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be a wonderful event there, July 23rd from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. there at the Chill Bar up on the roof of the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel. So if you're coming to an event there, this is one of the things that a lot of folks were asking early on before they got a chance. There is parking right there, what I'll say on the backside of the pool. Essentially, there is outdoor parking right by the pool, and then there's also a covered parking lot, which is just slightly to the south of where the pool parking lot is. Correct?
Yes.
Describe that all correctly there.
Yes, so we do have our parking lot for our hotel guests, and then we do also have the parking by Salty Rim on that one-way road, and then street parking all around. So there is plenty of parking. Nobody has really found an issue with it yet. So It's looking good.
I know that is one of the challenges generally there in Flagler Beach is as you're going to restaurants and going to visit the beach, that parking can be a challenge.
Yes.
There are a lot of free parking lots throughout Flagler Beach. There's also right on the road along A1A if you can find a spot there, and sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But if you are a hotel visitor or coming to the restaurant, you can park right there at Compass by Margaritaville. So you do have to be a hotel patron in some way. It's not public parking for just anybody, but there is parking for hotel guests for the restaurant or for the chill bar right there on site, and it's directly on the west side of the property. Then again, as you mentioned, there is street front parking on that one-way street, which goes one way to the south. If you're going east towards A1A, it's about maybe 100 yards before you get to A1A. There's literally the street that runs right in front of the lobby. You can turn right. It's a one-way street. You can only go right, go south, right toward Flagler Beach government building there, the government headquarters, which is basically right in your front parking lot. And you can find some parking there as well. And that's all. And that all the parking is free.
Yes,
Free
all the
parking.
parking is free.
Yeah, so that's a wonderful opportunity there. And so we've talked a little bit about the Chamber After Hours event on July 23rd. I also know that later today, Saturday, today, that Flagler Strong has a big event there in Flagler Beach as well, and you guys are partners with that as well.
So Flagler Strong, we're super excited about. It's for the police department, and we're running 20% off of our room rates if you are going to that event. So today, Saturday, if you book a room, it'll be 20% off.
And again, Flagler Strong is a wonderful fundraising event and support event for the Flagler Beach Police Department. So if you are going over there and maybe you want to spend the day in Flagler Beach and support Flagler Strong, maybe you want to have a couple extra cocktails at the chill bar. What a great place to do that so that you don't have an unfortunate run-in with the Flagler Beach Police. Just settle in for a room for the night and you don't have to worry about driving home.
Exactly. It's the perfect setup.
And who wouldn't want to do that on a beautiful Saturday here in Flagler Beach? Is go over there, spend your day supporting Flagler Strong and the Flagler Beach Police. Spend the night there at the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel. You can have a dinner in the Salty Rim Bar and Grill. You can have drinks upstairs at the Chill Bar. Maybe even walk to one of the other restaurants. And I know you guys are wonderful partners. I've been on your website where you help promote the local restaurants in Flagler Beach. As much as we would like everyone to eat every meal at the Salty Rim, that's not the way you all are wired. You're community partners, and you're promoting many of those wonderful local establishments that are, I don't know how many restaurants are within walking distance of the Margaritaville Hotel, but there's
a ton,
20 or 30 at least that are just within walking distance because you're right there in the heart of Flagler Beach. And I think it's great that you're all partnering up together because, again, we'd love to have all the business, but we need to share.
Yeah, we do get a lot of guests asking, "What is there to do?" or "I don't want to go to Salty Rim. What else can I eat?" And so all of our front desk agents from Flagler Beach know all the recommendations. They have their own, and we also have our certain businesses that we've partnered with on our website, and we're always looking to give back to the community. And we don't want our guests just to feel like you're in a hotel and this is what we have to offer. We want them to feel like they're immersed into Flagler Beach.
Yeah.
So that's super important.
And I think that's really important, and I want to touch on that a little bit. We talked about this a little bit in our first segment. Maybe we can just unpack it a little bit further today here in this final maybe 90 seconds or so before we wrap it up. How, again, that national brand with a local feel. And I can tell because I've been involved with the property and I've been there on multiple occasions. We were there for the grand opening and I could already pick up on it, but just want to give you another chance to expand on that a little bit about how you've taken that national brand of Margaritaville, but kept the very local feel of your family and the Elite Hospitality family throughout the Margaritaville Hotel and throughout your brand in Flagler Beach.
Yep. So walking through the hotel, you'll see I'm the assistant general manager. You'll see my little brother at the desk, and my older sister comes to visit, and she runs all the marketing. On occasion, you will also see my parents, who are constantly at the hotel. And we also have our Margaritaville corporate people that will come who are Palm Coast locals. So it's more of a community rather than we're here to run a business and make money. And we want to continue that feeling in all of our hotels, really, but especially here since Flagler Beach has such a small town charm. We want to keep that integrity of the small town while also giving something that we think elevates the tourism in the area.
Yeah, and I think it's really elevated all of Flagler Beach, and I think especially once the new renovations are complete at the Flagler Pier, the Flagler Beach Pier, what a major icon that is. And right now, like I say, it's down for renovation, but the restaurants are still open. The Funky Pelican, not to get sidetracked, they are still open. We want to make sure people are aware of that, even though the renovations are going on right across the street there. The Funky Pelican is still open, and we want to continue to support our local businesses in Flagler Beach. But you guys have made such a great impact with national brand but family feel, and I just want to thank you for doing that. I think that's really important. I think that was something I'm sure that your dad focused on when he decided to make the decision to come to Flagler Beach.
Yes.
And you guys so far have absolutely lived up to what was advertised.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
I
I
appreciate
Amazing
you doing
job,
that.
yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
So again, we appreciate you being with us today, Syra. Syra is with the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel right there in Flagler Beach.
And if someone wants to book a room,
Oh, yeah,
sorry
we
to
didn't
cut
mention
you
the
off. I
website.
just
Thank
wanna-
you. Yeah, I got it right here in front of me, and I totally bypassed it. Yeah. So Compass Hotel, FlaglerBeach.com, Compass Hotel, FlaglerBeach.com. Or if they want to do it the old-fashioned way and pick up the phone, what's the phone number they could call to get to the hotel?
I don't have the phone number memorized.
Because we are in
Wow.
the digital
Definitely.
age today. 'Cause
You
we're all
are-
doing our website stuff.
Going to the chamber event also, and you want
Oh,
to
yeah.
register, you can go to pcfchamber.com and go to our events, and you can register right online.
It's a good point. I forgot to mention that. The chamber event, because you do have to register ahead of time.
Yes.
PCFchamber.com. PCF, as in Palm Coast Flagler Chamber.com. PCFchamber.com. Register ahead of time. If you're a chamber member, it's free of charge. If you're not, it's only $10, and that's not a huge amount to pay. But if you're not a chamber member, $10, you can get some food and some drinks and join us at the Chill Bar right there at the Compass by Margaritaville Hotel.
Yep. So that phone number is going to be 386-356-8510. Or you can come on in, and our front desk will be happy to make a reservation for you.
And that's right. If you're supporting Flagler Strong today, swing by 20% off if you book a room later tonight there at the Compass by Margaritaville
And there is a code,
Hotel.
right? There was a code.
Yes. The code for Flagler Strong is just strong.
Strong.
There you go.
STRONG. That's your code. So thanks for being with us today on the Chamber Business Report. Again, brought to you by Klein Construction, Smart Technologies, Intracoastal Bank, and Katz and Green. I'm John Phillips from my partner, Kelsey Lombard. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Bye.
We'll see you next time on the Chamber Business Report.